Hey guys, what's up? It's your Tech Master here, and today I have an unboxing for you of the Droid Incredible 2 by Verizon, Google, and HTC. So the first thing I'm going to do is, when I open the box, I have left the battery out so I can show you the back of this phone without the cover. The cover is fairly easy to get off. I've been working with this phone for a few days so I could give you the best review slash unboxing possible. And right here, as you can see, we have the SIM card. Right here is the micro SD slot, and that is where you put the battery in, which we will do right now. When we put the back on, you can see the rear camera, which shoots 8 megapixels and 720p HD video. Also, you can see the dual LED flash. Another thing I'd like to point out to you about the back is the cool contour design, as you can kind of see there. What this does is it actually makes the phone thinner to hold in your hand, which I think is an awesome feature of this phone. I'd also like to point out that the Droid Incredible 2 does have a 1.3 megapixel front-facing camera, which can be used for video calls like Skype. Now let's head on over to the front of the phone and see what we have there. We have the 4.0 Super LCD display with a resolution of 480 by 800 pixels. It weighs 135 grams, very, very light. Onboard storage is only 1.1 gigabytes, but it has expendable storage in the micro SD slot, as I showed you before, up to 32 gigabytes. This phone has a very powerful 1 gigahertz Snapdragon processor. And I'm going to boot this phone up right now, and as that is loading, which does take a little bit, it's going to do the quick boot because I just booted it up. But the differences between the Droid and the Droid Incredible 2 are pretty simple. The Droid Incredible 2 has a 4-inch Super LCD display compared to the Droid Incredible 1's 3.7, but the resolution did remain the same, I'd like to point out. The Droid Incredible 2 also loses the trackpad that was on the first Droid Incredible, which was a pretty liked feature by most fans of the Droid Incredible, but I would actually prefer it without it. Just have the 4 normal Android capacitive buttons, which light up when the phone is on, but when the phone is not in use, they go away, as you can see right there. Just for the sake of the review, I am going to speed up the comparisons a little bit. The first Droid Incredible had the first version of HTC Sense 1.0, while the Droid Incredible has 2.1. Also, I just got the Gingerbread update for this phone, so it is a more advanced version of Android, of course. This one has 2.3 Gingerbread. Also, this has a slightly better battery, 1,450 milliamps versus the Incredibles 1,300, but it's really nothing too special. Droid Incredible 2 a little heavier and larger, and that's pretty much it. So we're going to dive on into this phone. But first, I'd actually like to point out one of my favorite features of this phone, the awesome personalization. As you can see, when you click the little paintbrush icon right there, you get to the personalization menu. You got scene, wallpaper, skin, widgets, just a bunch of stuff that you can edit. We're going to go to skin first, and I will choose the metal skin, which I think makes the phone look sleek. And as you can see, it's going to reboot up, and as you can see, the sleek look has now been applied to the phone, but I'm also going to change the wallpaper, so I'm going to change it to, we'll change it to Galaxy, and when we do that, it's just going to click apply, and then, as you can see, my phone now has a sleek space look that I am a huge fan of, and that is also one of the reasons that I switched from an iPhone to an Android, the awesome personalization. Now we're gonna dive on into one of the cons of this phone. So open up the apps, and let's go over to Verizon, and you see how many apps are already downloaded on this. It's known as bloatware, and there is a ton here VCast, voicemail, VZ Navigator, NFL Mobile, all that stuff. As you can see, I've already been using this phone, so I have some apps downloaded. But in the beginning, it was really cluttered with all that Verizon stuff that I really didn't want. But you're kind of stuck with it because there really is no way to get around it. You can't uninstall it, but you can go to download and frequent, as I have been doing. Another thing I'd like to point out about this phone is that it is not a 4G LTE phone like many of the phones Verizon has been releasing. The successor to a very, very popular phone, the Droid Incredible, they would add that 4G LTE feature, but I guess they did not. So that's something to take into account. It does run on 3G and Wi-Fi. Now we're here in the messaging screen so that I can show off to you one of my favorite features about HTC phones, the awesome keyboard. As you can see, it can be used in portrait or landscape. Let's go ahead and use it in landscape and type "Your Techmaster subscribe." Whoops. As you can see, the keyboard is very easy to use and corrected my mistake when I was spelling subscribe. An awesome. More videos with this phone later, like a review, a iOS versus Android comparison, back camera quality test, and many more. So stay subscribed, or if you aren't already, subscribe. Because I'm Troy, I'm your Tech Master, and I'm out.